Hi, this is Julia with Be Well Fitness. Just wanted to share at least one tip with you today on how to make your back, butt, back hips perhaps a little bit happier. So I've just been working with a few clients, and this time in particularly, I have a lot of female clients I work with who complain about tight butt, and they just always kind of point onto the back body. So tight butt, discomfort, kind of like a piriformis type syndrome or things of that nature. So just in general, if you are feeling kind of tight butt, whatever that means in your sensations, I would like to propose this wonderful stretch for you. You may want to be close to the wall, so because it's going to be a little bit of a balance challenge. You can also have a chair next to you so you can support yourself and feel comfortable in that position. All right. And this particular females who I have worked with and complained about the tight butt, I usually do the assessment of their movement patterns just to identify some blind spots where we can create a shift for change. For them in particular, their default posture was tucking the butt. And they actually had quite a bit of anterior pelvic tilt, so kind of that arch. And in order to get out of it, their strategy was just to squeeze and tighten the butt. Okay? And there are lots of other things that might come with it. Today, I'm just going to review that tight butt sensation. And of course, when you're tucking your butt all the time, your hip hinge might be not quite optimal, right? So first, what I usually do with them is go through some drills to find the ability to control the pelvic motion front to back. And then when they get that idea and feel pretty comfortable with and let the butt muscles go, so we go into the hip hinge. And right now, we're just gonna go ahead and place the hands into the hip flexors and just take yourself into the hip hinge. So in that hip hinge, as you can see, my knees are not here. See how it's not a hip hinge anymore, it's more of a squat. But my hips going there as the tailbone lifting up. And I'm also not arching, right? So, and I'm not squeezing my butt. So because again, if that happens, that's gonna take me here. And that's kind of where sometimes we get stuck. But as we go through all those steps and you know where your hip hinge is, and you know you're there if you start feeling a sensation of lengthening and stretching through the hamstring and the glute. And that's very important because we'll be doing lengthening work for the butt muscles, for that tight butt sensation. And that's why the hip hinge has to be done very well in order to get there, right? So what I will do here, and that's why you need a chair or wall to support yourself. Let's say that I have a wall here. I'm gonna take my left foot back, and let's say that my right butt is tight. I'm gonna connect with my tripod foot, press with the big toe of the right foot. And right now, my left heel is off the floor. So this is where it's gonna be a little bit of balance challenge. I'm gonna take myself into the hip hinge, and I'm gonna target my right side more here. So a lot of times we have one side more than the other that is tight. And then I'm gonna just take my left side and kind of shift and rotate to the right. And that's gonna create a pretty delicious, hopefully delicious sensation all through the right side of the butt. And you want to feel a sense of lengthening, okay? And then I'm gonna try to bring my left heel on the floor and just come up. So essentially, the next step after this, it's going to be working on strengthening the long butt muscles, right? But right now, we're just letting them lengthen, letting them connect with that sensation and kind of feel good, all right? So one more time. So my left heel is off the floor. I'm going to take my three-dimensional breath, inhale, exhale from the bottom up, and take myself into the hinge. And then I'm gonna rotate, bringing my left side of the pelvis towards the right, and still lengthening that way. So I don't need any support because I'm okay. but you may need a support, especially if you are not training your feet to control the tripod foot position, right? Okay, so that's where we are. So again, essentially the progression of that, and again, it's progression. You're not going to do it right away, especially if you kind of come from that sensation. All right. So the progression of that, I'm just going to show it from this side. It's going to be a single leg squat. And a lot of times, again, we're just training that eccentric or lengthened face. So I'm going to take my left foot back. This time I'm going to pick up the left foot off the floor. I'm going to take myself into the hip hinge. I'm going to do that rotation as I'm still lengthening back. All right. So again, I'm creating that nice, strong position in a lengthened position. I'm going to bring my left foot down and I'm just going to bring myself up. All right. So again, foot off the floor, going back, rotate, feel the stretch, hold into something, put the foot down, come up. All right, so, and that's a great tip and a great stretch that has helped so many of my clients to deal with their daily movements and also while they're transitioning from some changes in their alignment and in their movements. I hope you enjoy that. Change the way you move your body, change the way your body feels.